Yeah, I'm running through these halls like Drano. I got that devilish flow, rock and roll, no halo. We party rock. Yeah, that's so cool that I'm repping on a rise to the top. No lead in our Zeppelin. Hey.
One day when I came home at lunchtime, I heard a funny noise. Went out to the backyard to find out if we was one of those rowdy boys. Stood there with my neighbor called Peter in a flux capacitor. He told me he built a sound machine, wanted to film a scene. Yeah.
After a 9-1 start to the season, with 9 wins consecutively, the 15th-ranked Lady Generals look to build on that win streak today in their contest with the Eagles of Bridgewater. The Eagles enter today on a bit of a slide, having yet to win an ODAC matchup, but the experience of Coach Van Horn always keeps the Eagles close in every contest, and today is shaping up to be no different. Hello, and welcome to Alston Parker Watt Field on the campus of Washington and Lee University in Lexington, Virginia. Thanks so much for joining me on the Washington and Lee Sports Network. I'm Shane Riley, glad to be with you for some ODAC action on this breezy October evening. Taking a look at both teams, first for the Generals. When you look at the success of this Generals team, immediately the defense stands out as the catalyst for this 9-game win streak. Over the course of those 7 games, 7 were shutout victories. The strong defense has been led by junior goalie Abby Groff with 2 ODAC Player of the Week awards and defender Sydney DeVory with 2 ODAC Defensive Player of the Weeks. Cracking this backline has been a struggle for teams, and Bridgewater will most definitely have their hands full today. The Generals' offense has looked very strong as well, especially as of late, with 16 goals in their last 4 contests. The Zimmerman sisters have led the offense thus far with 5 goals for Megan Zimmerman and 4 goals for Sarah Zimmerman to go with her 1 ODAC Offensive Player of the Week this season. For the Bridgewater Eagles, not to start these perennial ODAC contenders we're hoping for in the conference play, with 2 draws and 2 losses to open it up. During those last 4 matches, the Eagles have only managed to score 1 goal in their 1-1 tie against Shenandoah last game. The leaders of this Bridgewater offense, like grad student Skylar Dahm and sophomore Laura Narby, will have to be ready to put the pressure on this stingy Generals defense. The key in this game for W&L will not be allowing this Bridgewater offense to come alive and to maintain their defensive hot streak that they've been on during ODAC play and for these last 9 wins. For Bridgewater, the key is to get the offense going early and maintain good possession of the ball to allow the offensive chances to be created and to stack pressure on the Generals defense, something that they have not had to face very much this season and something Bridgewater has particularly struggled with as this season has gone on. Now I'll step aside for the national anthem and for starting lineups, and I'll have those starting lineups for you when I return on the Washington and Lee Sports Network.
Fans, the Generals Club proudly supports Washington and Lee Athletics.
Welcome back to Alston Parker Watt Field. We'll have kickoff for you in just a moment, but first, here are the starters for the visiting Bridgewater Eagles.
At generalsports.com.
In goal, the first year, Riley Asiello from Chantilly, Virginia. The defender, Anna Beelan, the junior from Elkins, West Virginia. The midfielder, first year, Sophia Phillips from Media, Pennsylvania. The sophomore midfielder, number 11, from Falston, Maryland, Catherine King. The junior forward, number 13, from Milford, Ohio, Lyric Berkeley. The sophomore forward, number 14, from Huntington, New York, Laura Narby. The first-year midfielder from Manassas, Virginia, number 16, Cassandra Villafon. The defender, a junior from Newport, Virginia, number 22, Zoe Webster. A defender, a sophomore from Malvern, Pennsylvania, number 23, Bryn Dempsey. The grad student forward from Manassas, Virginia, number 26, Skylar Dahm. And then lastly, the first-year defender from Worcester, Massachusetts, number 32, Sienna Smith. And now for the home starters and the Generals. In goal, the junior, number 1, from Blacklick, Ohio, Abby Groff. The senior forward/midfielder from Atlanta, Georgia, number 3, Ann Riley Huber. The sophomore forward/midfielder from Arlington, Virginia, number 5, Emily Burke. The first-year midfielder/defender from Cincinnati, Ohio, number 6, Megan Zimmerman. Number 8, the midfielder from Cincinnati, Ohio, and a junior, Sarah Zimmerman. The junior forward from Robbinsville, New Jersey, number 11, Sophie Berman. The junior defender from Ruckersville, Virginia, number 12, Sydney DeVory. Another junior defender from Greenville, South Carolina, number 13, Bryn Bissinger. Another one making up that back line, a sophomore from Atlanta, Georgia, number 14, Shea Bowman. The sophomore midfielder/defender from Virginia Beach, Virginia, Amelia Mankey. And lastly, the first-year defender from Westchester, Pennsylvania, number 25, Avery Hanna. And it looks like we're just about ready for kickoff for you here. Bridgewater will get it going for us to start this ODAC conference game between the number 15 Washington and Lee Generals and the Bridgewater Eagles. It should be a fun one out here today. And it looks like Sophia Phillips will get us kicked off and started here tonight. And the ball off the kickoff sails out of play early for a quick Generals throw. It looks like Hannah will be the one to take it on the far side. She's able to find Zimmerman. Boots it up to Burke. Ball's bouncing around here now a little bit. And Bridgewater able to grab possession, but not able to maintain it. And now puts it back to her back line. A physical play there from Burke, knocking over Bridgewater defender there. Looks like Bryn Dempsey got knocked over there, and an early foul picked up for the Generals. Like, as I said in the pregame, it'll be key for this Bridgewater offense to get going early and establish their possession and put some pressure on this Generals defense, which really has not had to face too much of that. As I said, with their 7 clean sheets kept so far this season in their 10 matches played, it'll be very important for them to get going as the Generals try to build something on offense here with Bowman up the left side. Bowman crosses field of play, finds Hannah. Hannah moving into the box now, looking for a cross. Beats the defender and puts one early end onto goal, but just unable to reach that was Megan Zimmerman on the head, and the ball will sail out of play for a Bridgewater throw. Early offensive threat there posed by the Generals, just a little bit too high on the cross there from Hannah. And the throw there by Bridgewater just sailed right out of play. Webster a little off target. And it looks like they're going to put it back to the original throw spot for the Generals here. as the ball didn't go into the field of play. Bowman takes it. Finds Berman, back to Bowman. Back to Berman. Crosses it in. And they're going to say that it sailed out of play on the cross, and it'll be a goal kick for first-year Riley Osceola. Or rather, Webster will take this. Puts it back to Osceola. Back out to Webster. Finds Smith. An accurate pass there, stolen by Mankey. There's Berman, back to Bowman. Zimmerman finds Berman. Toying with the ball a little bit here. And Bowman now sprinting up the left side. Crosses it in, and nobody home for the pass. But Mankey able to clear it up and crosses it in with nobody there for another Bridgewater goal kick. Early on, Generals dominating possession, which tends to be what they do. They're such a strong defense. They're able to hold on to the ball so well as they're really able to thwart any attack that they face, and they're just able to put so much pressure on their opposing teams because of that. And that's why they've been on such a long win streak. The ball bounces around a little bit here. Smith boots it up. Looking for that left side. Looking to try to find Narby, but just sails out of play. Burke now just a little heavy with that touch up on the right side, and ball sails out of play. So both teams look like they're settling in right now. A couple of heavy touches, a couple of wayward passes for both sides now. Bridgewater keeping it with that back line, trying to find something, trying to find that pass up. Able to find Berkeley. Trying to ward off Zimmerman. Able to do so. Gets to the captain, King. Back to Webster. Villafon with it now. The Generals able to win that appeal and get the throw. Looked like that one may have came off of Berman there, but referee disagrees. There's Berman back to Bowman. That pass has been open early in this game. A good cross in, and good defense there from Narby to deflect that shot from Huber and not allow her to put one on goal. Hannah now with it. Finds Burke. But a good job there from Beelan, just warding her off and not letting her get back to that ball. About 6 minutes elapsed here so far. The Generals keeping the ball up into the Bridgewater half, but Bridgewater doing a good job of handling that pressure so far. There's Burke again. Finds Megan Zimmerman. Good physical play there to push off the defender. And another ball cleared out by the Bridgewater defense. Both teams just jostling for possession now. It'll be a Bridgewater throw. That one deflected by Huber. Able to win the possession for the Generals, but a wayward pass there from Hannah finds its way into the Eagles. Another wayward pass. Generals able to pick that one off. And a heavy touch there again from Huber. Just sails it right to Osceola. Maybe the cold weather getting to these players a little bit. Got to warm up. Only 7 minutes in. Just built that warmth. A little bit of a short kick there from Osceola. Finds its way to Berman's feet. DeVore. Bowman with a little bit of a wayward touch, but Burke able to corral it. And coming up the flanks now is Hannah. She had that cross earlier, about the first minute, that just sailed over the head of Berman. A missile put in there by Bissinger. Bouncing around a little bit. General's able to maintain the possession. A good cutback there. And a shot that just sailed a little bit to the right, but a good job there by Berman to open herself up for that look. Those are the kind of looks the Generals will look to try to get all day today, and the ones the Eagles cannot afford to give up. Villafon there just got a little bit fooled by Berman. Asiello boots it away. Asiello this season started this is her 8th start of the season. She's played in 9 games. She's doing a good job for the Bridgewater defense back there with about a .850 save percentage, so not allowing too many goals. And Zimmerman, a dangerous chance there, but the Bridgewater defense able to close it down, and Asiello comes out just as I was mentioning her. She's allowing just under a goal a game in her appearances with 34 total saves on the season, so a good early start to her first year or freshman campaign. She boots it away. Headed by Narby, trying to find Villafon, but can't do so. And Zimmerman now runs up with it, and Bowman again up that left side, just so active. A good cross in, and able to put it in, able to put it home is, I believe that is Sarah Zimmerman for her 5th goal of the season. A couple of deflections that ball took. The Bridgewater defenders just couldn't close it down, and Asiello just got a fingertip on it, but unable to knock it away for the first goal of this contest.
Generals goal scored by number 8, Sarah Zimmerman.
The Generals have been building up to that goal since the kick, and they're finally able to find an accurate pass. And the first shot was deflected, unable to put it in, and the second one able to put it home for Sarah Zimmerman. Tying her sister now for the lead in goals on the team with 5 so far this year. For Bridgewater, that's exactly what you can't have happen. You just haven't really been able to get anything going so far, and the Generals just been relentless with that pressure and dominating possession, which is something that they've just done so well this season, which has earned them that 15th ranked seed. But these games between these two teams are always so close, so you can't expect or anticipate anything in these games. Here's Narby with it in the midfield. A good pass up to Berkeley. Berkeley sprinting forward. Gets tripped up there by DeVory, and they're going to award the free kick. DeVory put into a difficult situation there and just forced to foul to not give up a potential goal-scoring chance there on the breakaway. So the first chance of the game so far for the Eagles, and it looks like it will be the grad student Skylar Dahm to take it. She's had a very, very excellent career. 2-time first-team All-ODAC player, 2-time second-team All-ODAC player, so a member of one of those teams for her entire 4 years so far. And on this year, she's got 2 goals, 3 assists, so pretty active on offense. She'll be somebody, as I mentioned in the pregame, to look for the Eagles to get going today and try to score that equalizer. And a long ball that'll go out for the Eagles throw. Looks like Webster to take it. Throws it in. Finds his way to Bowman. The Generals again able to get the ball back into their possession. Great defense there from Beelan. Able to pick the pocket of Huber and clear it out. Generals just putting it back and forth between their back line and their forwards at the moment. Looking to find a way through. Bridgewater defense right now doing a good job of closing down on these passes, putting pressure on the Generals. Their Dom comes up to make it 2 deflections, but still unable to win the possession back. Good dribbling there from Zimmerman to her sister, and Sarah tried the long shot, but sailed wide. Not really enough power on it to really threaten Osceola back there in goal. And she'll have a goal kick. So the Generals take an early lead in this one. About 32 minutes left in this half. About 13 minutes we've gone through, and Generals have a lead 1-0. But as I said, these games always so close between these two teams. Can't expect anything. Bridgewater could strike back at any minute. Bissinger over to DeVore. Generals keeping it with their back line right now. Bridgewater with a lot of players up. A good ball back, but nothing really forward there for Berman to play. Bowman finding a lot of green grass. Bridgewater getting a lot of pressure on the ball, but just unable to stop these accurate passes right now from the Generals. And as I say that, a wayward one that it's cleared by Dempsey. Quick throw there, taken. Huber centers it back to the middle. Generals now working it forward. A good ball there from Zimmerman. A nice touch, and Bowman immediately puts it back in, but a little bit ambitious there as nobody was quite home for that pass, and then they'll sail out again for another Generals throw. Pressure mounting again, though, on this Bridgewater defense. And DeVore coming far up from her center back position, looking for some offense here. Good dribbling moves to ward off Berkeley. Ball flies its way into the air. Zimmerman with it. The ball right now just kind of going back and forth between Generals defenders up on that midline and then their forwards up near the box. And Huber there tried to put it forward for herself, trying to get through those two defenders. And they're going to say that it was off of a Bridgewater player for the first corner of the game for either team. It looks like Berman will be the one to go over there and take it for the Generals. Set pieces always prove to be so dangerous, so Bridgewater need to be on high alert here. Bissinger, the threat close. She'll go long. Punched out by Osceola. Still in the box, though. And cleared out there by Webster for a General's throw. A good punch there from Osceola to not allow a header. If you can't catch it, it's good, always good to punch it out. And Bridgewater's able to hold. Bowman again up that left side. Burke now on the left side. Normally is up that right side, but going to stack it over here. Here's Mankey. Sarah up to her sister Megan. Back to Sarah Zimmerman. And a rough tackle there, but they're going to say no foul, no corner. It'll be a goal kick there. I'm going to say that one came off of Zimmerman. About 16 minutes elapsed here at Alston Parker Watt-Field. The Generals still maintain that 1-0 lead from their early offensive pressure that they were getting on the Bridgewater defense, and then just able to slot that one home was Sarah Zimmerman for her 5th goal of the year. Speaking of, here she is. Back to Mankey. A little bit of a heavy pass there. Bowman now on the left side. Generals just keeping it on their back line again. Really dominating the possession so far is something I highlighted in the pregame. It would be very important for Bridgewater to try to establish some possession, but just unable to do so. The Generals so good at keeping the ball, and that's one of the hallmarks of having such a good defense. Here comes Bowman. Dangerous cross in, but nobody there, and Berman thought about a long distance one and sails it wide right again. Just really unable to get any curve on that ball back into on the goal. So far, it really has been all the Generals' offense in this one. No shots yet for Bridgewater. 8 so far, now 9 for the Generals. And referee almost gets in the way there. Generals moving the ball forward. Trying to find their way in. And a good ball on goal there from Huber and able to slot it home. What an excellent shot there from Huber. And just completely tore up Osceola. Just not expecting that ball to curve right in over her head onto goal. And Huber with an excellent shot there. She had a little bit of a shaky start, but able to slot the second goal home of this contest for the Generals. And Burke there with a nice ball over to her for the assist. And what an excellent shot there from Huber, slotting it home to give the Generals this 2-goal lead. Osceola was completely not expecting that ball to find its way right into the back of the net. But that ball had a lot of spin on it and just snuck right by her for the. Now the Generals take this 2-0 lead, and the pressure that they've been able to put on has really come through so far in these first 20 minutes or so. Here's Bowman now. Finds her way in, but blocked there by Dom. Able to get back and block that shot. And Sarah Zimmerman just skies that one over. Looking to replicate what her teammate just did in Huber. And for Burke, that actually is now her second assist on the night, assisting that earlier Zimmerman goal as she put the ball in on goal and then deflected off the keeper, which was the next touch after it goes down as an assist. Here's Megan Zimmerman now. Trying to put on a little dribble moves, but good job there by the Bridgewater defender to come up and put that to sleep. And here go Bridgewater now. First chance at a breakaway since that earlier free kick that they had. Trying to put it up that right side, but just a little long there for Dom. Villafon just a little long there with that pass. Generals able to get possession back. Sarah Zimmerman also getting credit there for that goal with her earlier pass to set up Burke, which then set up Huber for the goal. So Zimmerman now with a goal and an assist on the night. Something that she's done a lot of this season now. 5 goals and 5 assists. And the throw there from Webster was right at Dom, but came right off her head and went right out of play. But they're going to say that it was off of the Generals defender. The long throw found its way into the box, and Berman just forced to put that one out of play. So the Bridgewater finally able to get some pressure on this defense, force them to live in their back line, which, again, is something that teams have struggled to do so far. And if you're able to do that, maybe get them out of their rhythm, and slot one home to try to get back into this one. 2-0, by all means, is not a lead in soccer that you can be happy with. Or rather content with, trying to take into the rest of the game, especially in this matchup between W&L and Bridgewater, always played so close. Generals able to corral it now. Zimmerman gets tripped up in the midfield, and they're going to award the foul. Phillips there just stuck her leg out and tripped up Zimmerman there. And her ribbon for tonight's game fell out. So a little stoppage here for that. DeVore just making sure her teammate's ready to go and boots it away. Here's Sarah chasing it down. Up to her sister Megan Zimmerman, and just a little bit long there. There's Webster now. Back to Smith. Smith boots it up. No Bridgewater attacker home for that one. Berkeley tried to get up on it, but DeVore did a good job of possessing it and getting it back to Bissinger. Can't find her teammate Berman up top, but Zimmerman did a good job of muscling that one away. Now here's Narby trying to, cross in there, a little inaccurate, and Osceola comes up and takes it. She boots it away. Villafon finding Phillips. Phillips now to Dom. Back to Villafon. Bridgewater now establishing some possession. There's King. Looking up for the run by Dom. And a good idea there from Dom. The pass just a little bit off, but Bridgewater are going to have to exploit opportunities like that against this very strong Generals defense, but establishing some good possession here. They're going to say Generals throwing a couple subs now coming on. Maren Brown, the first year for the Generals, coming on for the goal scorer and Riley Huber. And then for the Eagles, Hannah England will be coming on for Bryn Dempsey. Hannah England, a sophomore midfielder, got action of 9 games this season, so not every single game for her, but just about. And of course, for the Generals, Brown had that hat trick in that game against Barry. Her only goal so far in the year, but very impressive in that one. Speaking of Brown, here she is now. Not on the same page there with Berman, but fighting for the ball back and able to win it against the other sub that just came in, England. Berman trying to go for the long shot again there, but deflected away. Good job there by Phillips to get her head on it. The ball kind of bouncing around now, up near the Eagles' box. Generals looking for that flank pass again with Bowman. This is how their first goal was generated. Berman again there just with an inaccurate touch. A little frustrated with herself there at the end of that play. We got about 20 minutes left to go in this first half. Generals with a 2-goal lead over the Bridgewater Eagles. Still a lot of soccer to be played, though. Zimmerman now up the left, trying to beat Webster and just unable to do so. Good defense there from Webster, staying in front, not letting those cutback moves get the best of her. And the Generals going with another sub now, the senior Helen Otney coming in for Emily Burke now with 2 assists on the night. Checking out, getting a breather. Otney coming in on the season with 2 goals and an assist. Definitely some contribution for this Generals offense whenever she's in the game. Bridgewater now. Here's Villafon. Good work there to shave off Marin Brown. Webster boots it up, but again, nobody up there for their offense, and just a long change of possession now for both teams. Hannah working it to Zimmerman. The Generals now working through their offense. Here's Megan Zimmerman. Crosses it in, but a little bit long there, and nobody home. Another easy one there for Osceola. Osceola on the year, most saves so far in a game, 9 against Mary Washington. So very capable goalie back there and having a very strong freshman season, as I said. Definitely something for Bridgewater to look forward to. Definitely a very young team as well. Lost a lot of seniors last season. A lot of freshmen on the team, which is exciting for Bridgewater, as they've always been such a good team, and maybe a little bit of a down year, but a lot to look forward to for this team and even this season. Generals win back possession now. Here's Otney getting her first real touches on the ball. Bissinger. Heavy touch there from Berman. DeVore finds Megan Zimmerman. Up the near side to Bowman, who tries to cut it back into the midfield. And a good block there by Smith, able to win the ball back. Another first year for this team. She wins it back again. Good play there from Smith. A lot of green grass ahead of her. Not really sure what to do with it, she is, but boots it up, trying to find Narby, who's dead sprinting up the field and trying to muscle it off of Hannah, but Hannah able to put it out of play. And good little sequence there from Smith up to Narby, able to win some possession and switch the field of play. Looks like Aubrey Dunbar for the Generals getting ready to check in. A little bit of a stoppage here. Not really sure what's the reason, but not sure who that is, but one of the Generals players there tying their shoe. Avery Hannah over there tying her shoe. Looks like we'll resume play now. Long throw in. Just Hannah picks her pocket there. Able to get the ball away from Berkeley and thwart any efforts there Bridgewater were hoping to put on goal. Now Otney gets muscled off of it, and they're going to say no foul there. Another great play there. I believe that was Smith that pushed her off. A couple of defensive plays on back-to-back possessions where she's able to win the ball from normally these Generals attackers that are so good at being elusive. Strong play from the first year. There's Sarah Zimmerman. Back to Otney. Trying to work it in. Puts one on goal, and a good effort there, but just not enough on it to really give Osceola any threat, and another save for Osceola in this one. She boots it away. That is Osceola's 4th save of the night. Already about half of her career high in this first half. A lot of work so far for the Bridgewater keeper. On the other side, Groff really hasn't had to face anything. No shots still for Bridgewater, but starting to work through better, getting some more possession here. There's Smith. Thought she had Dom further up the field, but right to Bowman. And Bowman now up the left flank. The heavy touch, but able to put it in, but good positioning there again from Osceola, able to stop that attack. About 14 minutes left in this first half. General still maintaining that 2-0 lead from the earlier goals from Sarah Zimmerman and Ann Riley Huber. The Huber goal was quite the goal. Able to pop it in right over the keeper, and Zimmerman able to put hers home from a couple deflections. From a good ball put in by Bowman and then deflected by Burke off the keeper, and then Sarah Zimmerman able to slot it home. Generals looking to add another one before the half as they get their offense going up again. Hannah able to beat Narby up the flank and able to get it into Berman, who in a dangerous position, just unable to put it on goal, but the ball remains in the box. And cleared out there by Smith. Good blocks there from Webster. 2 or 3 times there blocking the Berman shots. And it looks like a couple subs now will come in again for the Generals. Elizabeth Perry and Aubrey Dunbar. Shea Bowman will check out, as well as Megan Zimmerman. Both very active early in this one. Dunbar the first year with 2 goals so far on the season. And then Elizabeth Perry, another first year. More of a defensive role, but played very well so far for the Generals this year. It's Osceola again with it. Boots it away. Zimmerman up to Brown. Got some numbers here. Just a little bit long there. It's a 3-on-3 there. Offenses tend to like, but just a little bit of a heavy pass. Bridgewater fortunate there not to get beat. Looking for Villafon on the pass. Now Dom trying to get control of it, but Perry able to win the ball, and DeVore with it. Back to Bissinger. Bissinger and DeVore. Very good defensive combo. 2 center backs that stay composed. Both very experienced. Both juniors. And as I said earlier, DeVore, Defensive Player of the Week for the ODAC 1 time this season. Here's Perry. Finds Brown. And good work there by Berkeley to win it. And trying to find Phillips, but just a heavy touch into the midfield. And these Bridgewater passes have just been a little bit inaccurate, but certainly calmed down since those first 20 minutes or so. Looking a lot better in this one. Here's Hannah cutting into the midfield. A little inaccurate there with that pass, but falls into the hands of Bissinger. Otney gets her pocket pick, but again, back to Bissinger. No. Long cross in. Dangerous. Ball loose. But Webster able to track it down. Osceola tried to go for the catch there or punch and just missed it altogether. If there's a general on that backside, could have been in danger, but fortunate for Bridgewater again there. Dunbar up to Otney. Zimmerman overran that one, not able to get in position. England up to Narby. She's able to have a lot of green grass ahead of her, sprinting upfield. Trying to look for the through ball there to her teammate Berkeley. Berkeley scored 2 goals on the season with 4 assists, so definitely an offensive threat the Generals need to be aware of. Narby there just unable to make the connection. Some more subs now getting ready for the Generals. As we creep under about 10 minutes to go in this first half, Generals still hold on to that 2-0 lead. And now Gracie Jurgensen will check in for Berman. Berman getting some rest at the end of this first half. He's been very active today. Put a few shots in. Rather in on target, not into the goal. Otney up to the fresh Jurgensen. Back to Zimmerman. Finds Mankey. Haven't heard her name in a while. Kind of always a quiet player in the midfield, but always locks things down for the Generals. Bissinger up. Jurgensen across in. And able to find the head of Brown, but Brown unable to keep that one down and sails it right over the crossbar. But a great cross there from Jurgensen. And another sub now for the Generals. Stephanie Sataki coming in for the earlier sub, Marin Brown. So Generals shuffling through a lot of legs here, keeping fresh legs on. That cold weather that always takes a little bit to warm up once you get out there. Get the adrenaline going. Here's Villafon. Referee got in the way a little bit there, but didn't affect the play. The ball does sail out of play, though. Long cross up. Good ball to Otney. Gets it back out to Hannah. Generals offense up these flanks, always so deadly. Back to the middle. Zimmerman trying to put one in. Another good block there. Looks like that was King on the block. Puts it up to Otney, who tries to turn around and put it on goal, but unable to do so. And some contact there in the box, but referee's not going to award that penalty. A little too soft there for anything to happen. Quick throw taken by the Generals. Good cross in, and just wide of the post. Zimmerman looking for her second goal of the night. Sataki, a great ball in. Zimmerman's always does such a good job of getting up to those headers with her height, and just a couple inches wide of the post there, looking for their third goal. Now Bridgewater is going to bring on the forward first year, number 27, Lucy Larson, with the goal in the season. She'll come in for Lyric Berkeley. Larson's made an appearance in every single game so far. Yet to start, but a good bench piece for this Bridgewater attacking side. Here's Dunbar. Good defense there to force a bad cross. Dunbar again, trying to get by Villafon, and Villafon does a good job of stealing the ball away. When given the chance, these backs for Bridgewater do a good job of that on-ball defense. Looks like another sub will be checking in now. Aliana Ferrara. Ferreira. Checks in. Another first year for this Bridgewater team. As I said, very young team, a lot of new faces this season. But as I said, that's always, every game they're getting better, and it's always something to look forward to in the future, even just the next game. Getting that experience and Bissinger up to Zataki. As we reach about the 5-minute mark in this first half. Zimmerman Up to Dunbar, back to Zimmerman. Going up that left side to Perry. Perry immediately puts it in. Again, nobody there for it, but Perry able to win it back. Fighting for the ball now. And just standing strong there was Ferreira, who just checked in. The Generals trying to get another sub in here, but it was off of them, so they'll have to wait. Larson with it. Over to Villafon. Bridgewater getting a little caught up there with each other, but able to keep the ball. Good passing here now. Larson trying to find her teammate Ferreira, but unable to do so. And the Generals now able to sub in Abigail Watson, who comes in for Sarah Zimmerman. So Zimmerman also getting some rest with these last 3 minutes. Watson, this is only her 4th appearance of the season, but getting some minutes here at the end of this first half. And another ball that perhaps sailed out of play there. The first year, Riley Cassidy will check in for the other first year, Sophia Phillips. Cassidy, 1 start on the season. Seen action in every game but 1 so far for the Eagles. Dispossessed there in the midfield by the Generals. A dangerous ball up to the flank for Narby. Narby able to get around her defender, Hannah. Tries to put a cross in, but deflected out by Bissinger. And it'll be a throw for the Eagles. They seem to like these long throws from this short distance. See if they go back to that again. More of a line drive this time. And it'll just sail out of play. Bridgewater certainly doing a better job of getting some offense going so far, but still yet to get a shot on goal or just in general. Sometimes that can build up and be frustrating, but it's good to be patient on offense and wait for your chance. Booted upfield. And deflected off of the Bissinger and dispossessed by the Generals. Here's Ferreira. Finds Villafon. Good ball. Up to England, that is, and deflected off the Generals in the first corner chance for Bridgewater. So getting some offense going here at the end of this first half. Looks like Villafon will be the one to take it. Using that right foot here. Goes long. And a good effort there on the header. A good ball in, and General's unable to get to that one and almost put it on goal. A couple inches wide there, but a dangerous header attempt. And the first shot of the game for Bridgewater coming in this final minute. But good signs for this team, getting some offense going and perhaps getting the Generals on their back heels. Generals so dominant in this first half, but Bridgewater doing a good job now with some fresh legs on the field. Bissinger with one that came off maybe a Bridgewater player's hand, but the ref will say play on. So we reach the final 20 seconds of this first half. Generals looking to be an offensive threat here. Maybe put one in, a last-second goal, and Otney will try from distance, but not a threatening ball there.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6.
So it looks like
5,
Asiel will just let this first half
2,
wind down.
0.
As the Generals will take a 2-0 lead into the half. A lot of action in that first half. A lot of shots for the Generals, and 2 goals to show for. 24 shots in that first half for the Generals, 7 of those on goal. Bridgewater unable to get a shot until that final minute there, but looking good to end that first half was Bridgewater, doing a good job of holding things down defensively. First half a little shaky in that first 20, 25 minutes or so, giving up those 2 goals. It can be cold out there. It can be a little bit difficult to get warmed up. This Generals team is so good on defense, so difficult to stop back there. But the Generals will take a 2-0 lead into the half, and we'll be back with more action after this.
No matter what a student majors in, they are prepared to succeed when they leave W&L.
It prepares you to take on different challenges with a lot more confidence after college.
Our Career and Professional Development Center works with students from the moment they arrive to think about how the work they're doing in their courses relates to any number of career opportunities, internships, and introduces them to alumni.
They have lots of opportunities for us to help build our resumes, our interview skills, and to seek out career paths that fit our aptitudes and our interests.
W&L's connection with alumni is just one of my favorite parts about the campus.
If you're looking for employment opportunities, you can count on the Alumni Network to do its part to help you.
The alums seem to be everywhere, and they're really well placed.
I will be moving to Washington, D.C. to work for a commercial real estate firm full-time. One of the managing partners at the firm I'm going to work for, he is a W&L alum, and we met for coffee, and then one thing led to another, and I was able to secure the position.
I'll be the non-equity stage manager at a theater on Long Island this summer. My professors in stage management did help me get this job. They served as references.
The Poverty Studies minor helped me settle on my career plans. I did a capstone this year talking about healthcare disparities in rural America. I will be working in rural healthcare next year right up the road in Rafine. I'm in a family practice office.
I have students who are doing a great job at the Wall Street Journal, at CNBC. Others have interned at the Washington Post.
I have many students who are in graduate school right now who are studying social psychology or industrial organizational psychology.
Our pre-health professions program puts people into MD, PhD programs where they may go on to do more biomedical research. We also have a lot of students that are more interested these days in public health policy.
100% of the students I know who've graduated are doing very well in their jobs. They come out investment banking ready for those who want to go investment banking, or CPA ready for those who want to take the CPA exam.
When they graduate, they have so many job opportunities. It's hard to keep track of all of the wonderful things they go on to do.
If you're famous, what do you want to be known for?
I think being a get ready with me influencer.
Definitely something in athletics. It might not be soccer, but definitely athletics.
I would want to be a famous lawyer.
I would want to be a famous artist and make really expensive paintings.
Comedian.
I would want to be known for my athleticism and my look, probably.
Being good at sports.
I'd want to be a really good doctor that can help a lot of people get better.
I'd want to be a famous author.
TikTok influencer. Probably just being really rich, but also like a good person.
Probably like being a food critic and traveling around the world and like getting to try different foods and reviewing them.
I'd want to be known for singing.
Just being a good, genuine person who cares about everyone and always wants to do the right thing.
Maybe as like a travel vlogger so I could like be famous and get paid to travel.
Being the first woman on the Chelsea men's team.
I want to be known for being really smart and really personable, and a lot of people like you just for yourself.
I definitely want to be a famous actress.
I would want to be known for like being a professional dancer.
I think I would want to be famous for singing.
I would want to be a reality TV show star.
Being a singer, I feel like that would be cool.
A singer.
Reality TV star or a comedian.
Either model or actress, I think. Like being nice.
Probably being really successful.
I would want to be a professional ski racer.
portion to me is the lived experience of our Division III student athletes. They balance life from an academic perspective and the rigors of competing at a high level, bonding with teammates and building lifelong friendships. But they also are involved in their communities. They work jobs and internships and volunteer. They've learned to be resilient. Diverse experiences are setting them up for the future.
Passion's love. Passion is love for what you do. Because I think when you face challenges, it comes down to how much you want it and how much you love it. Passion is what keeps you going forward. Seeing so many people that were like-minded and so hardworking in their sport and academics, being surrounded by like-minded people makes you want to be more passionate. I think it pushes you to a different level that maybe you didn't think you had. And you can do the best of both worlds and love all of it.
A good citizen is someone who wants to make a positive impact, both in their communities and in the world around them. The Division III approach is absolutely the best approach out there for amateur sport because it wants student athletes to explore all parts of who they are. Be successful in the classroom, be successful in competition, be successful in the community. So our student athletes learn what it means to strive for and attain success, but doing it the right way and being good citizens.
Comprehensive learning is being able to adapt to experiences and apply the things that I learned. Being an athlete and juggling academics helped me grow as a person, and things that I've learned, I was able to apply it in another field, putting them into everyday life. Developing comprehensive learning helped me prioritize certain things to make sure I get to where I want to be.
Responsibility is being accountable for your words and actions, first and foremost. It also is an obligation to be a positive influence in the communities around you. Being in a D3 program, you're going to have lots of different opportunities. You're not just an athlete, you're also involved in student life. Your academics are extremely important. We give a lot of our student athletes responsibilities right from the start by giving them leadership opportunities, by having them engage in the community, be a positive influence. That's being a responsible person.
I believe sportsmanship is a mutual admiration and respect for your fellow competitors. We all go through a lot to reach the point where we compete against one another. It's important to realize that. So once we're finally on the field or on the court or on the starting block, we look at each other as fellow human beings and not just competitors. Being able to recognize the hard work that other athletes are putting in creates a more positive and inclusive environment.
Inclusion means making what we offer here at W&L accessible to the broadest possible swath of students that are out there.
W&L has a phenomenal financial aid program, which allows so many more students to come here.
I've been very fortunate to have access to W&L's financial aid system, and they definitely want to make sure that students have access to all kinds of opportunities, and the cost is not a barrier for, say, a spring term abroad.
Once you come, no matter your financial background, we are going to ensure that you have access to all of the opportunities that form the W&L educational experience.
The Johnson Scholarship is a scholarship for leadership and integrity. I am very grateful for all of the aid that it's given me to get to go to college for free, but also with the scholarship, we get a summer stipend.
W&L finds ways to support students, and that makes my job a lot easier to have students who are supported and feel like this is a place where they can succeed.
We ensure that they have funds and resources that allow them to take part in research and internships and all kinds of summer opportunities.
Being able to graduate debt-free is such a privilege.
It is life-changing if a student can graduate without loan debts.
You kind of have a fresh slate. You're not going into the world with debt that you need to worry about and all of that pressure on top of the normal post-graduation pressure.
Getting the opportunity to come to an amazing school like W&L and knowing that I will graduate and not have all this debt has completely changed my life. My parents still can't really believe it, and it's just, I love it so much, and I love W&L.
For the love of the game. That's what it's all about, they say.
But for those of us who are Division III student athletes, it's more than that.
It's more about team and the schools and communities we represent.
And for the many of us blessed with the strength to compete in sport at the college level, we understand that with what we were given comes a special obligation.
Our obligation to help those who have their own special needs and whose love for the game is no less intense.
That is why NCAA Division III teamed up with Special Olympics. Since August of 2011, we and others from Division III campus communities have volunteered more than 250,000 hours, time away from the classroom and practice field, reaching across the country to coach and mentor Special Olympics athletes.
And to learn that in giving, we receive so much more in return. Help us keep that dream alive.
Be part of it.
Get involved.
You can make a difference.
No matter what a student majors in, they are prepared to succeed when they leave W&L.
It prepares you to take on different challenges with a lot more confidence after college.
Our Career and Professional Development Center works with students from the moment they arrive to think about how the work they're doing in their courses relates to any number of career opportunities, internships, and introduces them to alumni.
They have lots of opportunities for us to help build our resumes, our interview skills, and to seek out career paths that fit our aptitudes and our interests.
W&L's connection with alumni is just one of my favorite parts about the campus.
If you're looking for employment opportunities, you can count on the Alumni Network to do its part to help you.
The alums seem to be everywhere, and they're really well placed.
I will be moving to Washington, D.C. to work for a commercial real estate firm full-time. One of the managing partners at the firm that I'm going to work for, he is a W&L alum, and we met for coffee, and then one thing led to another, and I was able to secure the position.
I'll be the non-equity stage manager at a theater on Long Island this summer. My professors in stage management did help me get this job. They served as references.
The Poverty Studies minor helped me settle on my career plans. I did a capstone this year talking about healthcare disparities in rural America. I will be working in rural healthcare next year right up the road in Racine. I'm in a family practice office.
I have students who are doing a great job at the Wall Street Journal, at CNBC. Others have interned at the Washington Post.
I have many students who are in graduate school right now who are studying social psychology or industrial organizational psychology.
Our pre-health professions program puts people into MD, PhD programs where they may go on to do more biomedical research. We also have a lot of students that are more interested these days in public health policy.
100% of the students I know who've graduated are doing very well in their jobs. They come out investment banking ready for those who want to go investment banking, or CPA ready for
Welcome back to Alston Parker Watt Field for some second half action between the Bridgewater Eagles and the number 15 Washington and Lee Generals. Taking a look at some of the halftime stats. Generals with that 2-0 lead from those two goals from Ann Riley Huber and Sarah Zimmerman, and Cisco into Emily Burke with two of those tonight, and one for Zimmerman on that Huber goal. You take a look at the shots on goal, or shots in general. Generals leading that category 25-2, so definitely dominating the offense early in that half, and really all the way up until about the final 5 minutes, where Bridgewater were able to get some chances going, get those two shots that they had. Shots on goal 7-0, so really unable to get anything on goal with those two shots Bridgewater was, but one dangerous header off a corner that almost found its way into the top corner, just sailed a little bit wide to the right. Corner each for both teams, not really a lot of balls going out of play off of the defenders. And then Groff for the Generals, not really forced to make any saves so far in this game with the big fat 0 in that category. And then for the Bridgewater Eagles, Asiello on the other side with 5 saves in that first half. Played pretty well in that first half. The Huber goal was a difficult ball to get to, and then the Zimmerman one came off of a deflection from her. Not really much she could have done about that one. So we're getting ready for the second half to kick off. Both teams getting ready after their second half warm-ups and about to take the field. Bridgewater Eagles still in a huddle, trying to motivate their offense. They had a lot going at the end of that first half. A lot of good looks, starting to generate some possession, keep control of the ball. They're going to look to try to carry that forward into this half, and then for the Generals, they've just done such a good job of controlling the ball for most of that half, accurate passing, and of course those 2 goals are the difference so far in this one. But as I said earlier, anything can happen in these matchups, and you can never assume anything, especially with a 2-goal lead in soccer. So it looks like Sarah Zimmerman will get us going in this second half. And she boots it away to get us going. And immediately, DeVore, a long kick. And Narby, off of her, goes out of play. Hannah with the throw. Zimmerman now. Generals getting going with their offense early as they did in that first half. And another throw. Huber's shoe untied there, but not as big of a stoppage for that as we saw in that first half for shoe tying. Cassidy just unable to possess that one. Both teams now kind of going back and forth with it. England puts it up. Bridgewater coming out with that lineup that really got things going for them at the end of that first half. Not going with the starters, but rather those players that were generating some of those offensive chances, like England. Bridgewater now possessing it, looking for the pass up. Unable to find it, though. Berkeley unable to corral it, and now Bowman with it up the left side. The ball now just kind of going back and forth between these two teams. King finds Narby. She's trying to beat her defender, Hannah. A little bit wayward on that pass, and Bissinger boots it away. Narby again with it. Moving upfield. Still possessing it and trying to find England, but Bissinger again knocks it away. Very active today and not allowing that pass to come up on the left flank and disallowing a potential cross there. Looks like they're preparing for a longer throw. And Dom just came up a little bit too much there. And they're going to say foul a little bit behind the ball. Not sure who committed that for Bridgewater, but it will be a General's kick. Looks like both teams again trying to warm back up to the pace of play. And was booting around their back line, switching to the other side. Bowman with a lot of grass. She finds Berman. It goes back to Bowman. It's a connection we saw a lot of in that first half and always see a lot of for the Generals. Zimmerman over to Berman. Tries a long shot, and it just sails over the crossbar for the first shot attempt for either side in this second half. Berman's taken a lot of long shot attempts this game and unable to put one on goal, but those long shot attempts can catch a keeper off guard. We saw that with Huber in that first half, slotting her goal home. And Osceola boots it up Dom unable to control, but gets it back. And Narby calling for it upfield and just unable to make connection with it there. She's able to put a foot on it. Maybe she's able to beat Hannah on that side and try to come up and put some pressure on Groff, who still has yet to make a save or have to make a save in this game. Generals now again in his back line. Bissinger boots it up. A little short there for Berman. Cassidy. Back to King. Over to Webster, who then puts it up for Dom. Good passing now. Good one-touch passing for Bridgewater here. But Mankey, always so solid in that midfield, just able to shut it down and win the ball back. W&L trying to work its way back up now. Here's Burke. Nothing really there. Puts it back for Mankey and back to Bissinger. Bissinger now up. Zimmerman trying to chase it down. Muscles off the defender. Looks like King there. And then Narby there just has to boot it out of play. Zimmerman did a good job of fighting for that ball. Looks like we got a stoppage. Someone might be a little bit banged up, or maybe a shoe again. Not really sure why. Get play going again. Huber now. Centers it back. Just about 5 minutes passed in the second half. Weird touch there from Dom, but she just chases it back down. Looked like a pass there, but she kind of just knocked it in front of herself. Yankee boots it in the air. And heavy there from King. Finds its way to the feet of Bowman. Berman tries to put it up the flank for Megan Zimmerman. Toying with the ball at her feet. But Webster doing a good job of defending there, and they're going to say corner for the Generals. The ball went out off of Webster there, and second corner of the day for the Generals. Not too much corner action in this one. Just one so far in both halves for the Generals, and just one on the game for Bridgewater. Bissinger now to take it. Berman took it earlier. DeVore the close option. Bissinger's looking long, though. She goes in. And took a couple deflections. They're not sure who it really hit off of, but Bridgewater able to clear it away. Bowman tries to get it back in off her head. Unable to do so. Philippon takes it, and Bridgewater now moving up the field, trying to switch the field of play. Definitely not under as much pressure as they were in the first 10 minutes or 8 minutes of that first half. Doing a better job of possessing. It's very important when you're trying to come back into the game. Breakaway chances happen, but build-up play is your best bet for scoring a goal. And they're going to say it went out again. Team's having a hard time in this one, keeping it in when it's on the side. A couple of those calls tonight were pass, and the ball just kind of sails out a little bit. And good pass, finds Burke. A little bit of heavy touch there, and the ball just come back out for DeVore. Like maybe a foul there on Villafon, but the referee's not going to call it. Call it good defense. And a good tackle there, but Huber able to get a foot on it on the ground. England with a very good tackle, but Huber a wherewithal to knock it, but doesn't turn into anything. This half really has just been both teams kind of going back and forth. General's still doing a good job, though, of not letting Bridgewater put pressure on DeGroff. And Bowman will let it go out of play for a throw. Bissinger boosts it up. Again to Burke. Pass has been very accurate today from Bissinger. Berman looked like she kind of missed her first attempt there at that little dribble move, and then not falling for it was Beelan on the second time around. Hannah just comes up and knocks it out of the feet of Narby for a throw. And Bissinger's just very accurate right now with these balls in the air. Bridgewater doing a good job of not letting that cause any problems for their back line. So far, the story of the game really has just been the offensive struggles for Bridgewater. Still only those 2 shots, and as I said earlier, both of those came pretty late in that first half. Doing a good job defensively. 2 early goals, couple of unsettling goals. The second one was a very difficult ball to get to. But after that, they've done a very good job of limiting the good chances for W&L. A lot of shots for W&L, but only a few have been on goal. Burke to Zimmerman, tries to tap it back to Burke. And Beelan gets it taken away by Burke. Just a little slow on that pass, allowing Webster to come up and knock it away. Berman was gearing up for the shot. She goes off the left foot. And good power there, but just right at Osceola. Those ones you want to try to put it on the corner. Make the goalkeeper work there a little bit. Osceola in perfect position, though, for that shot. Generals now maintaining a good spell of possession here. And a bad pass, though. Narby tries to pick it off. Hannah did a good job of not letting that happen. Else Narby could have gone on a breakaway there. That could have been dangerous for the Generals' defense. A couple players out of position on that one. Generals slowly moving up the field. Hannah there with a throw. A little awkward on that one. Not entirely over her head. That one looks a little better. Good ball by Berman. But nobody there. Burke on with it now and sliced that one to the other side. Megan Zimmerman finds it at her feet. She's thinking about trying to get around her defender and skies one. It flies over the net. Billafon's done a good job of staying in front of Zimmerman, not allowing her to get any good looks. And you can see there, it doesn't allow her to put one on goal. Once again, a lot of shots for the Generals, but 28 now, but only 8 of them on goal. Still just the 2 goals to nil lead. As we approach about 14 minutes past in this second half. Some green grass now for this Eagles offense. Huber tries to shut that down, and Bissinger with the help up in the back line. And it will be a General's throw. Webster boots it away. Ball now kind of bouncing around again, as it has a lot this game. Zimmerman to Zimmerman. Here comes Bowman. Unable to get any lift onto that ball. Megan Zimmerman there trying another long shot. That one able to stay down, but just not quite as much as she needed. Sails over the crossbar. Long shots are always quite difficult to keep down, and we're seeing a lot of that today for the Generals. Sort of an awkward header there. We had hit both players going up for it on the goal kick, and looks like Smith will just send that one out of play. Throw in. Good work there from Zimmerman. Burke trying to turn around on the shot. Looks like she may have clipped Bridgewater defender there, but the referee doesn't see it. Here's Sarah Zimmerman. Berman on the left flank. She crosses in. Looks like it took a deflection, and that should be a corner, and as it is. So another corner for the Generals, their second of this half. So far, Bridgewater done a good job defending these corners. We'll see if Bissinger goes long again or goes short here. She opts for the long. Just a little too far on that back post for either Zimmerman's sister to catch up to it. And now Osceola will take it. As the Generals look to prepare their first sub of the half, Maren Brown getting ready to check in. Ball back to the Generals' back line. Hasn't been there for a little bit. Able to keep the pressure up on the Bridgewater defense for the last couple minutes, but they did a good job of holding. Something that they definitely have improved on since those first 20 to 25 minutes of the game. But some good passing here. Generals able to find almost a chance there. The Bridgewater defense closed it down, blocked that Berman shot attempt. Huber now. Dangerous ball in. Smith just able to get it away. Here's Narby now with it, trying to get clear of the ball out. And she just puts it back. Beelan who knocks it out of play. And here comes the first-year Maren Brown checking in for Huber once again. Looks like Bridgewater also making a sub there. Villafon checking out. And it looks like Phillips, Sophia Phillips, the first year, will be the one coming in. Phillips actually started this game, but Coach Van Horn opted to not have her start the second half, but still an important force for this team. Still getting some minutes. Dispossessed there by the Eagles. Generals now looking to make them pay, and a heavy touch from Zimmerman stops their chance. But again, the Generals relentless on the ball, and Zimmerman just so active. And Brown puts one in and looked dangerous from my angle, but sailed off to the right as the Generals get ready for another sub. Helen Otney had some minutes in that first half, coming in for Emily Burke. Burke pretty active. Getting a lot of those balls from Bissinger from the back line and trying to get some offensive chances going, but just unable to get that last touch or that last cross in on some of those plays. Zimmerman to Brown. Brown trying to find some way through. Can't do it. Cassidy tries to find her teammate England, but it finds its way to DeVore. Zimmerman into Berman, or Otney rather. Now there's Berman. A good ball in, and Zimmerman just unable to get it past. I believe that was Cassidy. A great move there from Narby to beat Hannah, and she has some open space ahead of her, but the Generals able to get back on defense. Narby still with it. And Bridgewater finally able to break that pressure the Generals have been putting on them, but immediately clamped down there. The ball sails back up to midfield. There's Otney and Beelan chasing it down, and Beelan just opts to knock it out of play. Zimmerman up to Otney again. Beelan knew that cross was coming, just turned her back and blocked that one. And Dunbar will check back in. So we give Megan Zimmerman some much-needed rest. Always so active in every game and always calling her name for this W&L offense. They do have Zimmerman listed as a defender online, but oftentimes she finds herself up into that final third and a dangerous goal scorer this season. 5 on the year, as I said earlier, tied for the Generals' lead. Ferrara will check back in. Skylar Dahm, the grad student, 5th year for Bridgewater, will check out. Ferrara all the way from Santa Clara, California, so coming across the country to play some collegiate soccer for this Bridgewater Eagles team. And Narby trying to show those fancy dribble moves again that she used to beat Hannah. Did so to get some space, but the cross was a little inaccurate. Smith now. Bridgewater doing a much better job maintaining possession and holding on to the ball here. Just need to find that final pass in, and all things considered, an excellent effort there by Berkeley. Not really too much of a threat for Groff, but just amazing she was able to put anything on the goal there with that one. It's the first time I've really had to call Groff's name all night. And that will be the first save that she's had to make all night. It's Bowman to Brown. Brown puts it back to Bissinger. Very good with her passes this evening. Speak of the devil, ball up to Otney. Otney immediately puts it in, loose from the keeper, but again, no Generals attacker there. Osceola, dangerous play there, not able to corral that one, but Brown just a little out of position, not able to come up and knock that one home. Bissinger, one of her first inaccurate passes of the night. They're going to say out of play off of Narby, so a W&L throw. Or rather, free kick. They're going to say Narby committed a foul there. So Bissinger will be the one to take it. Boots it long. That one just right at Osceola, who dropped it, but able to corral it. Dangerous again there. Just unable to hold on to a couple of these balls and potentially dangerous situations. The one earlier deflection off of her. Short kick. Ball dispossessed there by Brown. Webster puts it up. Good move there. But Bowman and Ferrara going at it with that one. They're going to say Ferrara committed the foul. DeVore boots it away. Brown finds Dunbar. Dunbar working her magic. Got the ball knocked out from under her. She's not too happy with the call, but referee's going to indicate an Eagles goal kick. And some subs finally now coming in for both teams. Got Elizabeth Perry coming in for Bowman. And Jurgensen coming in for, looks like Berman. And for Bridgewater, it looks like Cassidy coming out. And I believe that was King that checked in. Both teams trying to get some fresh legs as we reach under the 20-minute mark to go in this second half. Bridgewater trying to get some offense going. They've definitely looked better in the second half, defensively and offensively. Got their first shot on goal so far in this one in the second half, so they're going to look to build on that and try to grab potential equalizer. First goal and then a potential equalizer. Villafon trying to find Narby. Back to Villafon. Webster. A great move there from Ferreira. The ball still loose in the box, but DeVore able to clear it away. Always such a calming presence. Once it reaches her feet, the Generals can almost know for certain that the ball will be getting cleared. Bridgewater now trying to mount some pressure. Try to slot one home. Zimmerman knocked to the ground there. All clean play, though. Here's Smith with it. Finds Narby. And Narby just a little inaccurate, looking for her teammate Berkeley. Bowman looking up for Otney. Centers it to Zimmerman. Gets deflected there off of England. A long cross in. Sorry, that is Perry on the far flank. I forgot. Osceola boots it up. Nobody really coming to the ball there for the Eagles, and just allows the Generals to boot that one right back to Osceola. Bridgewater's going to want to try to put some pressure onto the ball and pressure on this defense, try to get some opportunities going. Haven't had a super clean look on goal. They do have the one shot on goal, but it was a great effort really on the shot, but not really threatening Groff. Narby trying to put on the move again. Able to get the ball back. Phillips with it. Back to Narby. And cleared away by Hannah. Phillips dispossessed that one and threw Zimmerman to the ground there. And they're going to say play on. Berkeley up with it, able to get past all the Generals defenders. And slots one that almost finds its way into the near post, but Groff did a good job of getting down on it. It's kind of an awkward angle for the save there, awkward angle for the shot, and a great effort from Berkeley to even get anything on goal. I don't know if she was trying to shoot there, but Brown trying to find Jurgensen up the right flank. Jurgensen trying to beat her defender. Beelan does a good job of knocking it away. Gets it up to England, and now Bridgewater trying to establish some possession. And Smith there just kind of put her body right in to Otney, and they're going to award the Generals a potentially dangerous free kick. Kind of an unnecessary play there from Smith. Otney didn't even have the ball. As the Generals get ready to bring on 3 subs. Clock ticks down to about 14 minutes to go in this second half. DeVore and Bissinger over it. Bissinger will take it and didn't really get the power under that one. Kind of skied it. And a lot of subs coming in now. Larson on for the Eagles and then for the Generals. Sataki checking in. Huber coming back in. And it looks like Burke will also come back in for the Generals. So a few of them getting some fresh legs coming off early in this half and coming back on to try to finish this one out. Sataki yet to play in this second half, but she saw some minutes in the first. And then for Bridgewater, Larson also had some minutes in that first half. Forcing a save there is Burke. Good effort there on the near post to earn the Generals another corner. Bissinger again, the one to take it. DeVore, closest teammate. Generals have been opting for the long corners rather than the short ones today. More of the same. Ball's loose. And a great block there. Coming up was King. And they're going to try to look to get on the breakaway, and the right idea there, but Hannah in position, able to track it down. Just a little bit off on that pass. Now here's Perry. Unable to really control it. Here's Villafon. Cuts it back. Tries to find a cross in, but nobody there. Ball at the feet of Phillips. She finds King. King facing some pressure there. Puts it back to her back line. Finds Smith. And Narby now. Narby and Hannah have been going at each other all night. Especially these last 20 minutes or so in this second half. Deflected by Narby. Burke tries to put the header up to her teammate Jurgensen. Able to do so, and Jurgensen trying to get it past Smith. And just not quick enough, quite quick enough there, but almost able to track that one down. Good idea there from Jurgensen, but good positioning there from Smith. And Narby puts it up, and nobody back there for the Generals. DeVore trying to chase it down and just able to beat Larson to that ball, but First time that Bridgewater's really caught the Generals out of position. Almost a dangerous play there, but heads up by DeVory to get over there and fill in for her teammate Hannah on that left, or rather right side. Same thing now, but Bridgewater out of position, and Huber now with the chance. She tries to cut it back into the middle and gets knocked down in the box, but they're not going to give her the penalty, and she gets up with her hands at her side, questioning the call, but referee again not going to give that one. A little bit too soft of a touch. And both teams kind of going at it now in these last 10. W&L getting ready to bring back on some of their starters to close this one out. And Narby kind of knocked over Hannah there, and they're going to award the foul to the Generals. Bissinger over to her center back teammate, DeVory. Up to Mankey. Mankey boots it up. Finds Burke. Zimmerman trying to create. The General's really unable to do anything up there, but just off the foot of Huber. And Huber trying to track down Narby. Narby trying to beat both defenders. But again, Hannah does a good job of coming up and taking it away. Jurgensen now facing from pressure from her behind, from Beelan. That one comes off of Beelan, though, and some W&L subs now. Bowman, Sarah Zimmerman, and Berman will come back in. Sataki, Perry, and I believe Jurgensen will check out. So W&L trying to get all their starters back in to finish this one out. Just giving them all some good rest for the final 10. And they're going to say a foul there on Burke. Referee's now talking to her. Booted away by Beelan. Final 10 minutes for Bridgewater to get something going here. Narby and Hannah once again pushing and shoving a little bit. It's been a good matchup. Berman trying to catch up to that one, but Smith's in the way. Webster and Smith kind of tap it back and forth now. There's Beelan. And Narby able to get around Hannah and wasn't really looking where she was going with that pass, but they're going to say Hannah committed the foul earlier. And Webster will be the one to come up and take it. Couple subs getting ready for Bridgewater on the side. Webster going long and not really accurate with that ball. Berkeley will check back into this one, and the captain, Skylar Dahm, will also come in for Narby. And Lucy Larson, who checked in this second half, will also check back out. Generals looking to hold on to this 2-goal lead that they've maintained since the first half. Bridgewater certainly looked better in this half. Definitely a more competitive game. Possession kind of going back and forth. But still unable to break through and put one past Groff. W&L just kind of keeping it with their back line right now. So they deflected off of Webster. Or rather, no, they're going to say off of Burke. So Webster will take the throw. Ferreira trying to make something happen for the Eagles. W&L backline saying no. Some really good pressure there from the Generals, but just unable to knock it out. Villafon puts it up. Punched out by Groff. A good ball there from Ferreira. And King tried to knock Zimmerman off a course there with a tough shoulder, but Zimmerman very strong, staying on her and forcing her to put that one out of play. Not the best throw there from Hannah, and Berkeley able to beat the defenders, but gets knocked away again. And they're going to say ball was out of play. Hannah hit the deck there, but ball was out of play before that. And Van Horn urging his team to come up, urging that back line to come up and try to make something happen. They've been keeping 3 back there normally, but only 2 right now. Generals almost had a breakaway from a similar situation on this earlier. Long throw. Boot in. England. Ferreira trying to work on that right side. W&L defender falls, but nothing coming of it. We reached under 5 minutes to go. W&L still maintaining that 2-goal lead. Bridgewater really trying to amp up this pressure now in these final minutes. W&L kind of clamping down and almost parking the bus at this point. Bridgewater looks like they're going to try another long throw. From an interesting position here. Tips it up. Dangerous high foot there. And the ball just finds its way sailing up in the air. An easy one for Groff to grab. Bridgewater attacker there got their foot up a little high. Almost hit a W&L defender. W&L is really going to try to just keep the ball away from their own goal at this point in the game, especially with that clock winding down. Here's Zimmerman up to Burke, over to Sarah Zimmerman. Berman trying to chase it down. Ball stays in play. W&L now not allowing Bridgewater to come back up for their offense. And that ball will just sail out of play. It will be W&L's ball still. And Berman just trying to take some time off the clock there. Gets a few seconds off, but Bridgewater earns the throw, and now they have a chance. Berkeley just needs to look up that right side and trying to take it herself. She had a chance to boot it up to her teammates there. Opted to take it herself, and the ball will fall back into the hands of the Generals. But quickly, King will take it. Villafon. Back to Villafon. Bridgewater trying to work their way up. moving the ball around, finding some space. Ferreira just knocked that one out, and another Bridgewater chance that doesn't come to fruition. Coach Van Horn on the sidelines looking a little frustrated, wanting that ball crossed maybe a little earlier. Let's not let that ball sail too close to the end line. So we reach about a minute to go.
1 minute remaining
between
in the
Bridgewater
second half.
and W&L. It looks like W&L is going to try to boot this one away and try to take off these final few seconds of this one. Burke maintaining it. Zimmerman up to, deflected there by Villafon. And Berman now on the left. Finds Zimmerman. Zimmerman's just going to try to keep it in the corner, run some clock out, and she'll just let that one go. And not sure what the referee's indicating here, but the clock remaining to tick. It will be a W&L throw,
9,
and
8,
this likely
7,
will end the game.
6, 5,
Zimmerman
4,
with it now in the final
3,
few seconds,
2,
rolling
1,
on that clock, and
0.
W&L improves their win streak now to 10 games in a row with a 2-0 victory
Bridgewater 0.
over the Bridgewater Eagles.
Generals will be back in action.
The Generals dominated a lot of the possession early in that first half and were able to slot home those 2 goals. The first one from Sarah Zimmerman, assisted there by Burke. Burke knocked it off the goalie, and then Zimmerman came up and knocked it home. And then for Ann Riley Huber, it's an excellent goal. A lot of spin on it. Really caught Asiello off guard and able to slot that one home for the 2-0 victory for the Generals. As for Bridgewater, they did a much better job in that second half defensively and offensively, trying to generate some chances. Able to get some shots in, a few shots in on goal. The final stats for today's game: 34 shots for W&L, 6 for Bridgewater College, 8 shots on goal for the Generals despite those 34 shots, and 3 of those shots on goal for Bridgewater, so pretty good success there. 4 corner kicks for W&L to end this one, only the one in that first half for Bridgewater. Fouls just about dead even, 6-5 in that category. But the Generals able to pull out that 2-0 victory and extend their win streak to 10 games in a row. Very impressive for these Generals. Up next on their schedule, they're looking at Sweetbriar College on the 19th, away from home there, and then a big matchup coming up the day after that one, down in Newport News, facing the number 3 Christopher Newport, and that'll be a very excellent game. Washington and Lee probably move up in the ranks a little bit before then, and it'll be a very interesting game for them. And as for Bridgewater, their upcoming games, they've got a game up this one at Hollins, and then the one after that at home against Lynchburg as they try to bounce back and improve and get their first win in ODAC play. But W&L able to pull out the victory, and what a good win it was for them, able to secure their 10th win in a row. We thank you from the General Sports Network for tuning in, and have a good night.